3 nautical miles off the coast of Russia, beneath 238 meters of the freezing Barents Sea, sits a rusted hull filled with high-level nuclear waste. This schematic shows the K-159. Highlighted here are its 2 onboard reactors. Inside them sits roughly 800 kilograms of spent uranium fuel, containing over 5 petabecquerels of radioactive material, unsealed from the ocean around it. For years, raising this wreck was an international priority. By 2021, when Russia took the rotating chairmanship of the Arctic Council, an agreement was practically in place. A $394 million plan was taking shape, backed by a global coalition to safely lift the submarine and secure its payload. Then came February of 2022. Russia invaded Ukraine. Almost overnight, Western nations froze project funds, ceased scientific exchanges, and halted all diplomatic cooperation on nuclear safety in the Arctic. Diplomacy stopped, but saltwater corrosion did not. With ties severed, the K-159 is now a radioactive liability trapped between a new war and the physical laws of decay. The danger of the K-159 actually began decades earlier. Decommissioned in 1989, the sub was simply moored at a naval base and left to rot. For 14 years, with virtually no maintenance, its outer hull rusted so thoroughly that inspectors noted parts of it had the thickness of foil. Despite this decay, in the summer of 2003, the Russian Navy decided to tow the vessel to a yardship for scrapping. To keep the crumbling hull afloat, they spot-welded hollow pontoons to its sides. Those pontoons were manufactured in the 1940s, and they were neither airtight nor properly maintained. During the journey, the towing crew encountered a sudden squall. The storm ripped away one of the aging pontoons. Because the crew was actively working to keep the submarine pumped out, its hatches were left wide open. Water poured in, and the vessel plummeted to the bottom of the Barents Sea, taking 9 sailors with it. Most nuclear submarines lost at sea go down sealed, their reactors fortified against the pressure of the ocean. The K-159, however, is essentially a naked reactor sitting open on the seafloor, a permanent radiological hazard created by a series of preventable shortcuts. After the Cold War, disposing of Soviet nuclear waste was a highly successful collaborative effort. Western nations spent over $1 billion helping Russia dismantle nearly 200 decommissioned nuclear submarines that were rusting dockside. Today, that collaboration is dead. Sanctions have blocked access to European funding and technical expertise. Raising a compromised nuclear wreck requires specialized salvage vessels that the Russian government currently lacks. Russia has a troubled history with independent salvage operations. When the 17,000-ton Kursk sank in 2000, it took over a year and a Dutch consortium to finally lift the wreck. Without that foreign engineering, the K-159 is stuck. The geopolitical sanctions intended to pressure Russia have inadvertently stalled the disposal of a shared environmental threat. This visualization demonstrates the timeline experts are working against. In 20 to 30 years, the remaining metal barriers within the K-159's reactors will corrode entirely. Once the seawater breaches those final defenses, a radioactive leak is guaranteed. This map projects what happens next. If the 2 reactors fail simultaneously, causing a pulse discharge of their entire cesium-137 inventory, ocean currents will carry the radiation straight into the eastern Barents Sea. Studies show this could spike radioactive concentrations in local cod populations to 100 times their current levels. Even if those radioactive levels remain below international safety guidelines, the resulting market panic would be catastrophic. Bans on seafood from the Barents Sea could cost the fishing economies of Norway and Russia an estimated $140 million every single month. The K-159 proves that while governments can freeze diplomatic relations, they cannot negotiate with the laws of chemistry. A rusting nuclear reactor will eventually fail, and when it does, the environmental fallout will